Salutations, Pod Pilots. It's your bite-sized weekly dose of New Eden news, tips, and information. Plex prices have exploded, hitting 190,000 ISK each, and have no signs of slowing down. I hope you got on that train while it was good getting. Only going to go up from here. We've received intel that Elysium has had a recent victory in period basis. They rolled in with 70 ships to their 150 opposition and pushed them out of the station with a few billion in killmails. Elysium had people on the inside, allowing them to catch Genesis Federation while they were still forming up. This is the value of having spies. Good job, Elysium. Get those big battles rolling. So for this week, we've got a corp ad and also a bounty. Goblin Industries LLC. Ticker is GLIB, G-L-I-B. Miners and manufacturers. They are building a better tomorrow today. Why don't you contact them, hit them up. Sure, they'd be happy to have you. As for the bounties, TAC-17, TAC-17, is offering 15 million ISK bounties paid upon confirmation. Just got to get a screenshot of that kill combat log on Betancore, B-E-T-A-N-C-O-R-E, and Psydark, P-S-Y-D-A-R-K. You guys got some prices on your heads. Just let TAC-17 know and provide evidence. Get that ISK. Got a bit of a esoteric survival tip for you this week. Community. Friends. That's really what EVE is about. Yeah, you can sit there and AFK mine all day. Alone. Quietly. Not looking at your phone. Probably get potted. Where's the fun in that? EVE Online and EVE Echoes both have the best communities you're going to find in a video game. Join a corp. Get on comms. Hang out. Shoot the shit with people. Meet people from all over the world and only pod some of them. You're definitely missing out on most of the game experience if you're alone, quiet, solo. So reach out. Alright, this week we are talking to grizzled EVE vet Felonia. How's it going?
Going pretty good.
So you've had some experience with EVE Online, huh?
Absolutely horrible. Don't play it. I've got tons of experience with EVE Online. It's, when I deign to play, one of my favorite games. Yes.
You've been around a few alliances.
I'm not trying to count.
Not going into that part, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone. Let's just say most of them have failed, and it's pack up and move on to the next one.
Well, you've been in EVE for around about 13 years, you said?
Yeah, 13.
So, what's making you give EVE Echoes a try?
Got a really, really pushy friend who told me I should try it for about 2 weeks now. Figured I'd give it a try, and hopefully it's the other part of EVE that I'm looking for.
What part of EVE do you already have?
I pretty much don't do anything but PvP. Maybe make a little bit of ISK when I need to buy new ships, but on the one hand, I absolutely love large-scale fleet battles, Alliance versus Alliance over Sov, and on the other hand, I like small 8, 9, 10-man gangs tops engaging against 8, 9, 10-man gangs tops, and you don't see that too much more in EVE Online.
That was kind of my problem back in the day. Everything was just big drops on big drops.
Yeah, you get into a fight and it's like, it's me versus you. It's 1 versus 1. And I like solo fights. Not the best, but I have a good average in them. And then all of a sudden, the other guy drops a Sino and there's 30 fucking dudes dropping on your head. And it's like, okay, this is bullshit.
Definitely get tiresome for me as well. So how much of New Eden have you experienced?
The words not much come to mind. I've mostly right now just got frigate skills training. Forgive me, but it's the bitter EVE vet in me. Get things to 5 and then start breaking things out and going looking for trouble.
Well, first impressions wise, including the terrible tutorial.
It's an EVE tutorial. It's going to be terrible. First impression wise, it looks actually pretty good. It's a fairly easy to use port over. I figured I'm thinking you're going to get in, it's going to be all complicated, but it's actually the same as EVE Online's user interface, but completely different. If you can figure that one out. Double click in space to go in a direction. It's got all of the elements of being able to manually pilot or do what you want to do, and it's easy and intuitive to figure them out.
Notice any of the major differences yet?
I'm getting more free ships than I did in EVE Online.
Definitely that. I think the first thing that struck me was no ammunition.
You know, I didn't even realize that till you said it. That's a very good point. The guns are shooting without ammunition. They're not even broken down into the old school meta scale. It's just this gun. Here's an upgraded version of this gun, and here's an upgraded version of this gun again.
Well, they do have different meta levels, but not so much in just the basic ones. It's kind of nice to not even have reload timers.
Now I just need to get my hands on some 800 millimeter autocannons and listen to them go boom, 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 boom.
Well, I have two big questions for you. What are you hoping to see in EVE Echoes from EVE Online? And what are you hoping doesn't make it over from EVE Online?
As far as what I'm hoping to see from EVE Online is I want to see the nullsec alliances, because again, my heart belongs to nullsec, and in both versions that's where it's going to be. And from what I've seen, there's fleet limits of 10 people, so you're going to get your small gang PvP, which is what we used to get a lot of back in the day in EVE Online, and I really want to see that, and I want to see that done well. And what I don't want to see is super capital proliferation. If I want a super capital fight, I'll log into EVE Online.
Yeah, I think if anything, caps are going to be years off.
It's going to take a long while. You got to build up the sob and minerals and all that. I have no doubt that we'll see them eventually. I don't think we'll ever see them to the extent of EVE Online. And on one hand, I consider that a good thing because people aren't going to throw them around for basic PvP. On the other hand, I do like big giant cap fights and watching expensive ships go boom.
Well, they are adding sovereignty in November.
I hear they're also adding warp bubbles.
That is coming very soon, and that is very exciting.
That gives me, I want to see new people who don't understand the mechanics again. That's what I want. That's what I really miss from back in the day, Eve. You get out there and people, they don't understand about safe pings and everything else. And they get themselves caught in something nice and shiny and expensive, and I get to blow it up.
Yeah, with this new universe, you got most of the player base that are all learning the same things at the same time. And for those of us who are familiar with old EVE, a lot of it's changed, so we don't really know what we're talking about half the time anyway.
Like, I goofed up and put in a stupid long skill training when I wanted to do a small one, and then had to go through the UI to find the way to remove it. And then it's like, okay, so how do I navigate to this point? I really like the autopilot system for EVE Echoes. It makes everything that much simpler.
News to me, and I was telling people never use autopilot.
It's like, go ahead and select autopilot. And I'm like, no, I am not doing this. I know this trap. It's like, you must use autopilot to complete this section of the tutorial. Okay, fine. Well, hey, that was that was really good. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice seeing notifications on my watch letting me know I've arrived.
You know, I haven't seen those notifications yet.
Do you have a smartwatch?
No.
That's why.
Exactly.
But how about in a couple weeks' time, give you some time to experience the game? You come back and tell us how things have met or not met your expectations.
Be a pretty good idea. It'll give me a couple of weeks to actually get in and get settled, figure out how things work, and advance my character. Maybe even get into one of their nullsec groups.
All right, Fel. Well, I appreciate it and look forward to talking to you again in a couple weeks.
Thank you for having me, and I will see you in a couple weeks.
Last up, our kill of the week. In Elysium's siege against Genesis Federation, Juke Chang and his Dramiel took a little bit of a spill to the tune of 417 million and change. That's gotta hurt. Drams are beautiful too. Tune in again next week for more news, more kills, more corp ads, more interviews. Till then, fly safe.